What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Absolutely April. I'm here for it, but you read the title already, Married at First Sight. We are on season 16. We're in Nashville. We're on episode 2, and I got a lot of thoughts. So let's go ahead and get into it. But before we get into our discussion on Married at First Sight, I want to thank everyone for coming to my channel and checking out what I have to say. So you might as well go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join my tribe. Also hit the like button so I can get put in that algorithm. And while you're at it, you might as well go ahead and smash that notification bell so you'll be notified about all of my uploads. So let's go ahead and get into it. I want to go ahead and talk about Married at First Sight. And we're going to start out with Kirsten and Shaquille. Now, Kirsten and Shaquille, I don't know, y'all. She is kind of is sketchy, Kirsten and Shaquille. I mean, because the faces that I'm sorry, I don't think her name is Kirsten. It's Kirsten. The faces that Kirsten makes is like she don't like him, and she has said many times like he does not. She's not attracted to him. I watched her on the after party. She was just like, that's not what she asked for. So, she was just thrown off. And again, like I said in my last video, why are you coming on Married at First Sight and you're so picky? Because you already know Married at First Sight has this track record where they're not going to give you everything that you're looking for. And if they do give you everything that they're looking for, it's something that's a little off. So, Kirsten, why did you do this to yourself? But hopefully you'll give Shaquille, some grace. Maybe he'll grow on you. Attraction will grow. And we'll see what happens because he does tick all of her boxes outside of the appearance. Also, if I was Kirsten, one of the things that also would kind of sit, a little off with me is Shaquille is a little, he comes across as a little soft. And I like, really masculine guys, and he's not that really, really masculine guy. Because I want to, if we go out, I want to feel like I'm protected. I don't feel like if we need to run, that you're gonna, protect me, and you're not gonna be running and ducking or leave me out there hanging. So, Shaquille just does not seem like the protector type. So and if something in that and that could also bother Kirsten a little bit because I think she's looking for a manly guy, and Shaquille is definitely not a manly guy. He's a nice guy. He's very smart. He's very fashionable, but he just doesn't have those, like I don't want to say masculine. I don't want to, say that he ain't masculine, but it's just like that. I don't know. Y'all y'all are part of the tribe. You know what I'm trying to say. It just he comes across where maybe like if I'm looking for someone to kind of like, be a little like a protector type guy. I don't see him being like that. I just see him like, if we need to get something done around the house, that he would be kind of like let's just find someone to do it versus him, getting the tools and kind of working on it himself. You know what I'm saying? But let's not belabor the point. Let's get into what happened on the show. So, Kirsten and Shaquille, they kind of went down when they showed her going down the aisle. They showed her face. She seemed a little less enthused. He seemed very like enamored with her. Like he really loved her aesthetic. Kirsten is a very much so. She's very ladylike. She's very elegant. Like I like her. She comes across like a Southern belle. Like she just really comes across like that. She's very put together. She knows how to carry herself. She's very classy. And I think that's what Shaquille was looking for. He made mention that he loves her brown skin. So yeah, he's everything on the outside so far is totally what Shaquille is into, but not Kirsten. She didn't want no bald head guy. She said she wanted clean cut. But as long as bald head is kind of clean cut. It's not, he don't have stubble everywhere. So yeah, he's aesthetically, he's not what she was looking for. But it was very awkward at the altar for them too. He was, kind of speechless, and she was like, "Well, why you not saying nothing?" Or, she was kind of like making, he was like, God knew what he was doing when he made you. That's what he said to her. And I thought that was really nice and very cute. And I think that kind of set her, a little bit at ease because, she knew right then that he was attracted to her and he liked her. So that was a good thing. Now, her, on the other hand, she's definitely was not into. So they kind of panned over to show Kirsten's mom, and like at first glance, she really kind of put me in the mindset of an Angela Bassett. And I was like, okay, Kirsten's mom. I was like, she's really, she was really doing the daggone thing. Like I said before, her and Kirsten seem like they're night and day. She seems like her mom would, but in some of the, what the family says, the remarks some of the family says, they did say she's the life of the party. So maybe that's just Kirsten, playing up for the cameras, and maybe she really does get loose. But her mom just really seems she has a young spirit about herself. She's a really attractive lady. I don't know how old she is, but she really looks nice and she really looks put together. I really like her mom. So let's see, when it was time for them, they did their vows and all that kind of stuff. And then when it was time to give a kiss, Shaquille goes in for the kiss and he gets curved and she gives him the cheek. Now, I think that had he asked her for a kiss, she would have gave it to him. She would have gave him a kiss, but she wanted him to be a little bit more of a gentleman and say, may I have a kiss? And then I think she would have acquiesced. However, because he just went in assuming he was gonna get a kiss, Kirsten was like, yeah, you already got two strikes in my, well, at that point he had one strike. So you already got one strike and I don't feel you like that. So now you just gonna come in and swoop in for a kiss and not even ask. Like, don't play yourself. So he took the kiss on the cheek with stride. He didn't really, recoil. He took it, and they went down the aisle. Now they are a cute couple. They look good together. They look good on paper. I just don't know if Kirsten is going to give him the time of day. Like, I hope she can get past, her initial thoughts and really, get to know him and see if he is someone that she wants to spend the rest of her life with. So when they asked Shaquille about the kiss at the altar, the producers asked him. He said he liked that she gave him her cheek because that means she has boundaries. So he likes the fact that she's a strong woman and she has boundaries, and he likes that about her. So he really didn't take it, like that. He was okay with it. So that was a good thing. Now, when he looks back at this, he might feel a little bit different, but as of right now, on the day of the wedding, he was okay with it. So as they're talking, making small talk, he tells her about his head injury of being, when he was 7 years old, he was in a drunk driver hit his family and he was thrown from the car into like a barbed wire fence, and he wasn't able to he wasn't able to play sports because of this injury. And so when he told her that he went to TSU, he works at TSU, and she, said, well, my dad loves to go to TSU games. He loves to tailgate, but didn't go to the school. So that they really bonded on that. She said, I don't mind going to sporting events going to the sporting events. She likes sports. So that was a check in Shaquille's book. Now, when they go and start talking about his age, that's when she found out that he's younger than her. Strike two. Strike two, y'all. Kirsten was like, no, I didn't want nobody younger than me. And I get it because, technically, they say like men do not mature as fast as women. So him being younger, is he going to be have the maturity level that she's looking for. And I think he does. I think he does. I think he's going to have some communication issues with her. I don't think he's going to be the best communicator, but I definitely feel like he's going to be mature. I don't think he's going to be out there in the streets. I really don't. I really don't think he's going to be out there in them streets. So I don't know. I think the issue is going to be mostly the communication and the fact that he also spoke about he only had long distance relationships. So that means he's never been, with a, his significant other, like always, like you're going on dates, y'all are in the same city, maybe living with each other. So that's going to be a big thing for him, living with his spouse and being in the same city, because he's always did long distance relationships. Now, him just always want to do long distance relationship, that is kind of like a red flag, because that means, do you have commitment issues? Do you really, do you not want them in your space? Like, you like that distance, that healthy distance, because you like your alone time. You like to be able to do what you want to do. And then we get up when we get up. So that's kind of a red flag for me, because when you're married, you are in each other's space outside of when you're going to work. And if you work from home, you're always going to be with each other. So hopefully he has the communication and social skills to be able to, communicate when he wants his alone time, or, when there's an issue. Instead of, maybe he'll be the one, how they do it Married at First Sight, when they have their shared apartment, they like to run to their old spot. So is he going to be a runner? That's going to be interesting to see with him. Well, let's see. I want to make sure I go over all my notes. So she didn't like I said, he has 2 strikes because of his age and that he's bald. She don't like neither one of those things. But in my notes, I put, nevertheless, Shaquille is head over heels over Kirsten. So they moved on. Let's comment down below. What do you think about Shaquille? And what do you think about Kirsten? Do you think they're going to make it? Do you think this is going to be she's going to be able to move past some of her proclivities with him? Do you think she could do it? I don't think so. But we're going to see. We're going to see. Maybe he can break her walls down. We are definitely going to see. And she likes to get what she wants. She said that on many occasions. She likes to get what she wants. So if he is the spoiling type, he might be able to break down those walls. Might. We're going to see. So let's move on. We got Gina and Clint. Gina and Clint, Lord. I'm not, how I said before how I felt about Clint. So Clint and Gina, they go pick out their tux and their dress. Now, this is what Clint picks out. He picks out like a regular old church suit. He didn't even put a tie on. He barely looked like he even brushed his hair. I mean, did he even moisturize, y'all? Did he moisturize? I don't even think he moisturized at this point. It's just, Clint, this is your wedding day. Why didn't you choose something a little bit? I know I get the comfort thing, but kind of be a little bit classy. I don't know if Gina had anything, felt any way about it. She didn't really make mention of it, but yeah, that would have been, oh God. I'm glad Shaquille didn't do that with Kirsten, because, oh yeah, she probably would have, lost her mind. But yeah, I don't know about, I don't like the suit. I do know that. I don't like the suit. It felt like you didn't, dress for the occasion. It doesn't look like you dressed for the occasion. Now, maybe if this was a beach wedding. If this was a beach wedding, different. That kind of thing, I could get with this. Maybe. But this is an inside formal type wedding. So why didn't you at least put a bow tie or even a necktie? Like, come on, Clint, do better. Do better, Clint. So they were showing, about Clint's friends. Clint says he's 40, y'all. I don't think Clint is 40. we need to see some birth certificate. We need we need a birth certificate or something. Clint does not look like he's 40, y'all. And then when you look at his friends look very old. Very, I mean, like, I'm not the nursing home type old, but they look at least in their, mid to late 50s, his friends. So I'm like, Clint, are you sure you are 40? Like, maybe in the sailing community, maybe there's a lot of older guys, and so that's who he's linked up with. But definitely the guys that he's hanging out with, they look like old. They definitely older. Clint Clint looks older than 40, and maybe he definitely is the life of the party. You can tell he likes to have fun. However, he definitely gives me older than 40 vibes. Um, Now his friends did kind of, sprayed a little of his tea. Now his friend said something about him fleeing, like leaving Florida because he had a bad breakup. He thought that this girl in Florida that he was dating was going to be the one, and ended up not panning out, and thus that's how he got to Nashville, Tennessee. So I don't know. Like, we're gonna see about that, because I'm like, I'm trying to figure out if Clint really healed from it, because the way he came to, like, looking like this, like, this picture, his suit, it just seems like you're just like whatever with it. So are you just getting married to check a box? Like, is this something that you're looking forward to and that you really want to do? Like, it just seems like, how some people are like, this is a goal. I've done this, I've done that. I feel like, it's time to just get married. So I'm just going to get married to anybody, and I'm just going to show up like anyway. But had it been this girl in Florida, would you have taken a little bit more time out with yourself, Clint? I don't know. I just, like I said, when they said that, it kind of made me think, like, are you just doing this because you still want to get married and there's nothing else to do and you can't get with the old girl from Florida? I don't know. So Gina was talking, and she says she has checked all of her career boxes, and she's lonely and she wants to be married. Again, this is not a reason to get married because you're lonely. It's like, I know you want a partner to do life with, but just because, I see all of my friends married, so it's time, I want to just go ahead and get married. No, that's not a reason to get married. Are you really ready to be a wife? Because, I don't like to say, bad things or anything like that, but when you're making those vows, for better or for worse, sickness and in health, are you ready to have to possibly be someone's caretaker? If something should happen, like, or would you, not want to do that for them? Like, I want you to get married. It's a serious thing. It's really, really serious. You are making your vows, and you are saying that you're going to be this person. You are intertwining you all souls together, and you're going to just do it on a whim. I don't understand that, but okay. So, but I did love Gina's dress. Both dresses that she picked out. One was like a all white dress. It seemed more of a reception dress. So if she did a dress change, that would have been a great reception dress. It was like plain white, but it was really form fitting. I love Gina's shape. She's really, she's a curvy girl, but it's like curvy in the right places. So yeah, she said she talked about how she's worked on her body and dealt with her image, and she likes where she is. And Gina, yes, you look good. I love your shape. I want to get there. So yeah, she looks good. Both of the dresses she picked out were very pretty, very pleasing to look at, very nice for her shape. Very Gina, yes, you did both of those things, but she ended up choosing the second gown, was a little bit more lacy and things, but it was really, really not either way, it would have been pretty. The other one was a little plain, and so I can understand why she chose the second one, but they were both form fitting and they were really, really pretty. That's why I'm like, Clint did not match her fly. Clint did not match her fly. So I'm still mad about Clint's whole ensemble that he chose. Like, Clint, get it together. So that you can see a little bit of her dress right here. Her hair was, was really nice. It went with the dress. I love that, she has that statement earring and she didn't have anything around her neck. It was very, love it. Love, love, love the way her dress. I feel like she's probably was the best dress out of all the girls with their for their wedding. Now, let's talk about their chemistry. I don't know if she gave him a big kiss at the altar. She leaned in, he leaned her back. She was leaning in. It was very, very nice. However, I don't think that, Clint is her type of guy. I think she's going to push through. She's going to be a Kirsten. No, Kristen with the Y from last season in San Diego. She's going to be like Kristen, and I think she's going to push through. But I don't think that he is like her type. Like, I don't think she gets like the ooh, like I can't wait till we get to that room tonight. I don't see that type of energy from him. I think she's going for him, but I think she's going to try to see where this goes, and she's going to make every effort because like she said, she doesn't want to be alone. So that's the whole thing. And this is why gave y'all a slide to kind of show how she's looking at him. Like, she's looking like she's trying to find something that she likes about him, but his face card has been declined. Like, she's not feeling him. And but that's what I got so far. But I think that she's going to, like I said, I think she's going to push through. She's going to be like Kristen from last with Mitch. Because I know Mitch was not her, like, if she saw Mitch in a club, I don't think she would be like, ooh, let me holler at Mitch. No, she would have been that girl that would, be like, I'll talk to you and let's see where this goes. We had a couple laughs, so I'm gonna give him my number. Like, I think it'll be like that type of thing, but we're going to see where it goes with Gina and Clint. Like I said, I feel like Clint is going to end up rubbing her the right or the wrong way because he seems like he might have a condescending bone in his body, like he might be a little condescending. And I don't see Gina being that girl that's going to take that type of, you're not going to try to belittle me or say anything crazy to me. So I think Clint might be that one when he get loose on that goose, that he might get a little rambunctious and start saying stuff that he ain't got no business. And if he get too loose at the lip, I think that's going to be a turnoff for Gina, and it's going to be a problem. So we're gonna see. But overall, so far so good. But I got my eye on it. So who's the next couple, y'all? The next couple is Nicole and Chris. Let's bring up Nicole and Chris. So here's Nicole and Chris. They're gonna talk to each other. They're gonna talk their ear off. Each one of them gonna have. Nicole has so much energy. Like, she's so wound up. She's so energetic. She's just a lot. Like, for me, if it was a guy like her, I'm an introvert and I can be an extrovert when I need to. But she would kind of drain me. Like, y'all know, what's that little meme that's going on Instagram where, Marlo's talking about today drained me. Like, if I was with her for one day, I know that's how I would be feeling, like, Marlo, ooh, today drained me. Because that would be how I feel like and I think that might be how she's going to make Chris feel, because Chris seems like he's an introvert as well. So all of that energy that she exudes and comes off as, I think is going to take some time for Chris to get accustomed to it, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Nicole is a lot, but I love her. She was the only one, on this episode that kind of, brought tears to my eyes, because you can tell she wants to be in love so bad. And you can tell that she's been waiting on this for a long time. And she's just kind of like, where is my Prince Charming? I've been kissing all of these frogs. Where is my Prince Charming? And then you got Chris on the other hand, who's Mr. Nice Guy, who is, the romantic guy, and he just wants to spoil somebody, but people just think he's just somebody that you just fly by night. He's just not. I don't see girls really getting too serious with him so much. And he has that shy factor as well. So he's probably not going to be the one that's going to step out and make a move unless, he really feels comfortable enough. So yeah, but I saying all that, I like them together, y'all. I like these two together, and I think they're going to go the distance. I really do, because I feel like they're both invested in this process. They're invested and want to be married, and they're going to do what needs to be done to stay and married. Now, will they get on each other's nerves? Possibly, because like I said, Nicole is a lot. Nicole is a whole lot. And she came across to me when she was looking at her wedding dresses. She came across a little self-conscious because she was just like, I don't like going shopping. And usually when I hear girls say like, I don't like, I'm not a big shopper. Even when I was at my smallest, what I call my fighting form, when I was, nice physique and everything, not really, I won't say nice physique. When I was a lot smaller, I've never been like the girl who liked to go shopping. So that's never been a thing, not a body issue or anything, but I just never have been that girl to like to go shopping like that. But saying all that to say, I was looking at Nicole and the way she was just kind of like, she felt, you could tell like when she was feeling a little self-conscious. And I don't know if she was bigger before and lost weight, or she just feels like she's too big, but she has a nice shape. She's short. She's probably maybe a little bit taller than Dr. Pepper, but she's short and she's a thicker girl, but she's still, I won't even say thicker. She's just curvier. And I think she looks nice as well, but she doesn't like shopping, but she just came across to me that she has maybe like a body image issue, and that's why she didn't feel good about like really wanting to look for a wedding dress, because she just doesn't feel good about herself and her in her body. But Chris didn't see nothing like that girl. He liked what he saw. He liked that she was shorter than him, because he was like, as long as she's shorter than me, I don't think it's going to be a problem. And she's very short. I think Chris says he's 6 feet or he might be 6'2", I think he said. But I don't know if she may be 5'1" or something like that. She's very short. So perfect. It's perfect for them. So they were both nervous about each other not finding the other attractive. So like I said, they are a match. They are a match. They even gave each other gifts before they walked down the aisle, and their gifts were very similar. So I thought that was very cute. It brought her to tears, because she said that no man that she's ever dated prior to him even was as thoughtful as he was, and he don't even know her. So that tugged at my heartstrings right there. I was like, oh no. I was like, Nicole. And she was just like, yes, no one has ever been that thoughtful and intentional with her. And he don't even know her like that. So I was like, thank God for Chris, because he says he wants to be romantic. And I think she's going to, she's going to soak up everything that she can. So I'm hopeful for these two. She also gave him she gave him a gift, and it was similar where they had different steps. So they wrote out each step like, this is one gift, package one, this is this and that and the third. She loved her ring that he picked out. Everything was just perfect. When she got down the aisle, before she even got down the aisle, her dad said something to her, and that was the next time my tears came out, was when her dad was like, I feel like I'm losing my little girl. And she was like, you're never gonna lose me. I'm always gonna be your little girl. We're just having an addition. And I was like, oh, so that kind of tugged at my heartstrings too, because especially daddy daughter, because I was such a daddy's girl growing up. And I was just like, dang, that is so sweet. And that's how daddies really be feeling sometimes, giving their daughters away. Like, I'm getting my little girl. Like, my little girl is not, I'm losing a little girl. But you're really not. You're gaining a son. You really are. Well, hopefully. So, we're going to see how it goes with them. I really like Nicole and Chris. She and Nicole did something that was very, very smart. That she was like, I don't even want to think about how he looks. I just, because I don't want to build myself up to, expect anything. She said, I'm just going to go in and just be present and just, take it as it comes. And I love that attitude about her. I think they're going to do well. I think they're going to talk each other's ear off. Um, I think the night of, I don't think it's going to be no hanky panky, but it's going to be a lot of talking. A lot of talking. So, yeah, let's move on to Jasmine and Airris. Jasmine and Airris, like I said in the last one, Jasmine is one of my favorites too because Jasmine reminds me of my cousin. So I like her. I really do. She's down to earth. Um, and she's really down to earth and she seems really sweet. So I really like Jasmine. But Airris was with his groomsmen and he, they met him at his room. One of the groomsmen, I was like, okay, but he had a ring on, so he married, so it's, it ain't gonna happen. And but they, they Airris, they were talking and everything, saying, "You show you ready?" And he out there waving to the streets like I'm saying bye to the streets. I was like, oh, this dude right here. This dude right here. Airris, I don't know, but you better not do my girl Jasmine wrong. So he did say he was missing his dad. His dad was murdered when he was really, really young. So he feel like, he is, missing something because, his dad would have been here giving him, some manly advice and stuff. So that's something he was missing out on because his dad was not there to do that for him. So yeah, I felt for him at that moment because you want to share the big moments like that with your parents, and when your parents are gone and you don't have that to share, that moment to share on with, it can be a little, you know it could get, that grief sets in a little bit and just kind of like puts a damper a little bit on the day because you want them there, but they are there with you. They're in your heart. They're every step of the way. They're with you and enjoying it. But I know you just want them there physically. So yeah, I get it. Totally get it. Um, Now, Eric says he's putting away his F-boy ways. He's putting them in the past. So I'm hoping he's going to end up being like a Woody, because Woody from New Orleans. When I was scared about Woody, I liked Imani, and I was scared about Woody. But Woody came in like a champ, and he did what he was supposed to do. Woody and Imani are probably one of my favorites on this show. I love it. He was intentional with her. He did the work. They both did the work and they showed up for each other. I love them. So hopefully that will be Jasmine and Airris's testimony as well. I'm hoping, I think that he would be attracted to Jasmine. They haven't seen each other yet. But I think he might be attracted to her. She has a nice physique. She also made mention to her mom and her sister, like she wants a man that looked like he at least seen a gym. So she I think Airris is that because he's a slim guy. I don't know if he's tall. He don't look that tall, but he seems like a slim guy. So I think the attraction factor may be there. But we shall see. And they now moving on to Jasmine, she did speak about, she was glad her mom was there with her because her mom did get diagnosed with breast cancer 3 months ago. So, that was a big thing. Like, you know, if her mom would have been there to even experience a wedding with her, and her mom is there. So I love that. And I know her mom is going to fight the good fight when it comes to um, being here and fighting that big C word. I hate it, but it can be done, and that's the importance of catching it fast and doing breast exams and things of that nature. So yeah. Now, on this slide right here, you see Airris and his cousin. I forget her name, but his cousin, approaches him right before he gets to, walks into the it's not a church, but before he walks through the doors to go down the aisle, she catches him again and was like, if say the word, because if you want to leave, you can run. You don't have to get married. So I'm like, girl, at this point, you spoke your speech. You spoke your speech. Now leave him alone. Let him make his own decision. You told him how you feel about it. If he's going to go through with it, leave him alone. This is not your son. He's a grown man. He's a grown man at this point. He knows what he's getting into. He has signed contracts. He knows exactly what he's getting into at this point. So if he's made it this far and he's not backed out, let him go ahead and do what he does. Don't go and rattle him before it's time to walk down the aisle. Now that I'm glad that she spoke up on the last episode, and she said, like, I don't know, but because she knows him. However, at this point, he's made it to this point. Now, if he had came to her and said, I don't think I'm making a good decision, that's different. But you coming over to him to try to get him to change his decision, it's not too late. Come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. And especially, how is Jasmine gonna feel when she see that? Hopefully Jasmine can move forward from that, but I would kind of be looking at his cousin, with the side eye a little bit, like, okay, you was about to ruin my day. So I'm hoping that, they can move through that. That's a lot. But yeah, his cousin, at this point, I feel she's overstepping. Last episode, I felt like that's the time to speak your speech and say what you got to say. But now, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He's going to make his decision. At this point, you just need to be supportive. Just be supportive. And if you can't support, then do not show up. Now, that's all I got to say about that. So that's my thing on Jasmine and Airris. How do y'all feel about the cousin saying something right before it's time to walk down the aisle? Like, I didn't like that, y'all. So let me know how y'all feel. Maybe I'm being a little bit too sensitive, but I just didn't like it. Comment down below. You agree or disagree. So now we are on our last couple. And y'all know, for some reason, I keep forgetting this couple. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, I can't remember this couple to save my life. It's Dominique and McKinley. Now, this is Dominique. And I'm just going to say it. Dominique ain't ready. Dominique is not ready to get married. Her mama is pushing her up to this, and it's getting under my skin, because now this nice guy, who he appears to be nice, McKinley, wants to get married, wants to have a wife and have a family, and this girl is really not ready. And I don't know for the life of me why Pastor Cal and them keep saying that she has an old soul. No, the hell she don't have no old soul. The girl was the same one putting a shot glass in her breast, hanging out with the stripper. She ain't got no old. This girl is not frumpy by any stretch of the imagination. She seems like the one that likes to turn up and likes to go out and hang out. She's already said she wants to have her girls' night out. She has to have a girls' night out. She likes to party, and she likes to do 25-year-old things, which I'm not taking from her. She should be doing 25-year-old things. That's why I say this is not time for Dom to get married. Now, if her mom, I feel like, is living vicariously through Dominique at this point. You may have you probably liked this show and was like, oh, they coming to Nashville. My baby got to get on this show. No, honey, no. Do not, this is a marriage. Why would you do this? And mess somebody else up. And McKinley seems like a nice guy. He really wants to do this whole thing. And then the whole thing the debacle that happened with his last relationship, where the girl told her he was engaged. She was engaged by text message. A girl that he was living with, in a relationship with. So I hate this for McKinley. I really do. Dom is not ready. I feel like Dominique and Pastor Cal keep saying she also too. So I'm like, I don't know if Dominique has misrepresented herself to the experts, but she's not an old soul. Just because she go fishing with her mom, she's not an old soul. She's very codependent on her mother because she talks to her all day. And then on top of that, it's like she's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You show this way to maybe older people, the experts, and maybe even your mom. But when you go out with your girls, you is pop locking and dropping. Pop, lock, and dropping. Pop, like she is, and that's when I was 25 years old, that's what I was doing too. I was in the clubs. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Like I was ready to have a good time. Monday through Saturday. On Sunday, I rest. I gave that day to the Lord. But Monday through Saturday, we was going to the lounges. We were hanging out. We was having house parties. We was going to the clubs. Everything, every night we was doing something. So yeah, I'm not feeling this whole thing. I feel like it's a disservice to McKinley, this whole situation. Um, Now, McKinley did choose his little suit, and he looked so dapper in his suit. I liked his suit. He chose a royal blue suit, and it was really nice. He looked nice. Um, Now, McKinley said he was looking forward to trying new restaurants, Netflix and chilling, and doing some grown man stuff. Dominique ain't gonna be with it. Dominique ain't gonna be with it. Now, I think McKinley will probably, do a little bit, the fun stuff with Dominique, but I think he gonna get tired at one point. Chris is gonna get tired of that and he ain't gonna want to do that. I mean, I'm sorry, McKinley. McKinley gonna get tired of that and he ain't gonna want to do that. And then she gonna want to be in the club and that's gonna be an issue. Y'all saw the way Justin and Alexis had issues. Alexis wanted to be in the club and Justin wanted her home. When you have two different mindsets like that, it's hard to make that work. Because some people just like to party, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people like to party no matter the age. They just like to be out in the streets. And there's some people who like to be at home. If I don't think Dominique is going to compromise on that, you know, unless she really, really likes McKinley, I don't know, but I still don't think that that's going. She might stop for a little bit, but she's gonna want to pick it back up because she's like, I'm young and fun, and I want to do something else. I feel like that's going to be the issue because I know when I was in a relationship around that time, I was like, I'm young, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. And I was dating an older guy, and that's the same thing. I was like, I want to go to the club. He was like, no. I was like, yes. It did not work because we were in two totally different places in our lives. Like I said, I think Dominique's mom is really, trying to live vicariously through her daughter, which is unfair. I did not like Dominique's dress. I felt like it was fitting. It didn't look good at all. It did not fit her good. It didn't. I think that she just went in there and was just like, oh, this is a dress. I'll wear it. Done. Like it's just no like thought into it. It's just like this. If I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this whole situation between Dominique and McKinley. And McKinley, I hope maybe he'll be like Chris and Alyssa, because you remember Chris from that season when Alyssa just was so mean to him. She didn't want to spend a night in the room. And he was just like, look, decision day has come quicker for us and I'm out. So hopefully if McKinley gets to that point, like he just can bow out gracefully and just let her have it and let her, be out in the world the way she wants to be. But I just hope McKinley is able to establish boundaries. I hope he's able to, to say what he needs to say and communicate clearly. Because them experts gonna try to keep him there and hold him hostage in a situation he don't like being in and waste everybody's time. So I hope that's not the case. But that's all I got. Nothing else really happened. Let me see. That's pretty much it. Now, oh yeah, Clint and Gina, they did figure out they lived in the same high rise together, so that's pretty cool. She said, he did look familiar. Gina even said on the after party with Keisha Knight Pulliam, she said that he made mention that she saw the crew there, and she's like, "Oh, did I miss the call? Was I supposed to meet y'all?" And he was like, "Oh no, we were just doing some other shots." And then she went and asked, and Gina said she went and asked the front desk, and they said, "Oh, they here interviewing some old man." Like what I told y'all. What did I tell y'all? Clint looked like an old man. So the man said they're here interviewing some old man. So hopefully, so that's how Gina kind of, was tipped off, that she didn't know who, of course, she didn't know who it was exactly, but she definitely was tipped off that, there was possibly someone else in her building that was doing Married at First Sight. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. That's all I got. I really ain't got much more. If y'all have anything, put it down in the comments below. Let's discuss it. Let's discuss it. How y'all feeling about Married at First Sight thus far? Everything is everything with Married at First Sight. Is much of the same old, nothing too much different. Same old archetypes of people. Is not nothing changes, but hopefully, I still don't think I don't think that Clint and Gina gonna make it. I don't think that I think everybody I think the only people who are gonna make it is probably and Nicole and Chris. And I'm holding out hope for Jasmine and Airris. I'm hoping it's going to be a Woody and Monty situation. But we shall see. That's my thoughts so far. But we will see. Until then, that's all I got, y'all. It's been real. If you made it this far, go ahead and like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, join my tribe, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so you'll be notified about all of my uploads. And I love talking to y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.